Today on Encounters USA, it's the Metaline Bigfoot Festival coming June 19th and 20th. So before we go down that road, Bill, can you give us a little bit of background on the festival and your association with it? What's your role in it?
Well, as we started out with Steve, he wanted to have a Bigfoot town hall up here, and he asked me if I could put it together and everything. I said, well, I could work on it. And of course, we had some great speakers that Steve had lined up, and we had our Cutter Theater up here, which holds about 158 people. We filled all the seats. We had a great dinner, and we got a lot of information from people. And we decided to see if we can do it again and continue with this festival. So we're opening it up for the whole town this year. We're going to have vendors, speakers, and it's just I think it's going to blossom as we hope into a yearly event, which will be really a lot of fun. And then of course we're right in the middle of the woods and everything. So you know, the people that want to come up here and go camping and check the area out and do a little Bigfoot research, you know, they won't have to go far.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Metaline Falls Bigfoot Festival Squatchumentary. That's right, this is a documentary about Sasquatch, making it a Squatchumentary. And I'm Matthew Heines. If you don't know me, I'm the host of Encounters USA, where we do aliens, Bigfoot, and Dogman. Now, last spring of 2021, I was invited by none other than Sewid Khalil. And you might ask, well, now who is Sewid Khalil? Well, she's none other than the founder of the Marble Mount Bigfoot Festival. And I was invited by her to go to the Metaline Falls Bigfoot Festival in Metaline Falls, Washington. As the day drew closer and closer for the Bigfoot Festival in Metaline Falls, I was not really committed, but things were conspiring to draw me in. You just never know. Sewid also invited me to come and stay with her daughter and some other ladies in their cabin at Metaline Bigfoot Festival. I actually was going, well, I guess I'll go over and sleep in my truck. I don't think they're going to have any accommodations over there, but Sewid said, no, you stay with us. And so sweet, I'll be over there in Metaline in June. Now, by the month of June, one thing had led to another, and I was seriously committed to the festival. But I wasn't really upset about it. I was actually looking forward to the excitement of traveling to Eastern Washington and meeting a whole bunch of new people and making a whole bunch of new friends, as well as reuniting with old ones. Now, one thing that had become more than apparent to me as time went on and the day of the festival drew closer was that the festival seemed to be centered on the release of a documentary, and the documentary producer seemed to be somewhat an inspiration, let me say, for the Bigfoot Festival. It was more apparent to me that my whole presence at the festival was based on the idea that this video would be released and I would be helpful in covering the release and the documentation of its release. In other words, I was invited to the festival to cover the release of the documentary, but that wasn't all. So as I left for Eastern Washington, I was leaving for not one but two events, not one but two documentaries. We were going to film a documentary about the festival. That was going to be not my documentary, and then we were going to go out together and film another documentary like the one that was being released in Metaline Falls at the festival. Now, because I cannot release the name of the person involved, I will simply refer to them as Chopper. And as I left Seattle that day, I had one plan that I had to do initially, and that was to link up with Chopper to get this documentary that was going to be debuted at the festival. And that was going to be over in Spokane. But first, I had to cross Washington State. So we are sitting now at Fred Meyer in Spokane, and according to the plan, I'm supposed to meet and pick up a DVD that they're going to play tomorrow up in Metaline Falls. I'm going to run that up, and then Steve, according to the plan, going to come in on a helicopter. So this is the first time working with
brother, hey, good to see you.
Yep, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Nice to finally meet the man, the myth, and the legend. Here he is, Steve.
Hey, how are y'all?
So, here you've got a mission for me.
I do, and it's a very important one at that, Matt. What I have in my hands here is a package which you need to deliver to Marshall White up there in Metaline Falls.
All right.
And this are very sensitive documents which are in here. Now, actually, what you're delivering are the DVD copies to play the film right here.
Awesome.
Very important. So
okay, great.
Give that to you.
There it is. So I've got my mission. All right. I'm going to head up to Metaline Falls. And how do I get a hold of this person?
I got it right down there for you. Call them when you get there.
I guess I just should have looked at the package.
Yeah, I did. I mapped it all out for you, brother.
All right. Okay, so you're going to come up on Saturday and everything's worked out?
Yes, I will be.
Okay.
Be coming in on.
Are you coming with Bob? Tell me, Bob Gimlin.
All I can say.
You are. If Russ is going with you, then Bob's going with you. Don't. I'm not that silly.
I'll see you there Saturday morning
with Bob. See, you got the scoop here. Nobody's going to see this until we do the video. So, but you heard it here. Bob Gimlin, I figured it out, is going in because Russel Acord doesn't go anywhere without Bob Gimlin.
I will be arriving Saturday morning, 9 o'clock.
Saturday morning at 9 o'clock. All right, in Metaline Falls on a chopper. Now, what he doesn't know yet, but what I'm going to add to the drama, he's going to come off the helicopter. And what's he going to say? He's going to say, I love the smell of Bigfoot in the morning. In Metaline Falls, the first thing I realized is that there were no hotel rooms available. Quickly, I developed a plan, and that was to set up my tent down at a place called the Box Canyon Dam. One of the local hotel owners had mentioned it to me and suggested I might try there. Well, I did try there, and I found a fantastic site where I could pitch my tent. So I decided I would occupy that site with my tent that night, and then, as per my wife's wishes, go find the only hotel which just happened to open up just as I was setting up my tent. Good morning.
How are you?
Great. My name's Matt. I do Encounters USA. I'm here for the Sasquatch Fest.
Oh yeah.
It was my first day of the event. Of course, it wasn't the first day of the festival. That was going to be on Saturday. This was Friday, and this was going to be what I'm going to call Vendor Day. This was the day when I wanted to go around and, number one, interview the people who come to these festivals and offer their merchandise and their Bigfoot memorabilia, etc., to the crowds that come to these festivals. So this was the day for them. And how lucky I was as I got up that morning to look out my window and see none other than the folks from SasquatchTheLegend.com. All right, everybody, I have got a real treat for you. I'm at the Riverview Inn. I'm in Ione, Washington, and we're just down the river from Metaline Falls, getting ready to run up there and start checking out the initial part of the festival. So I've got two vendors at the Metaline Falls Festival, and they're going to talk a little bit about their business, their operation, and what they have to offer. So let's go ahead and talk to Ken and Lori Hamilton. We're outside of Metaline Falls, and you guys have been here for how many days?
We've been here 2 days. We just found it on our event calendar on our website, SasquatchTheLegend.com. Oh, it's beautiful. There's no traffic at all right now.
Okay. And what are your expectations for the festival?
I think it's going to be probably one of the best ones this year. A lot of them are indoors, but this one is going to be outdoors, so it's really going to be fun. We're going to be selling t-shirts and mugs, all of the usual Sasquatch things, necklaces, stuff we make in our Tucson manufacturing site.
Okay, and can you go ahead and give us your website very quickly? I'm going to flash your van on here, but go ahead and give us your website.
SasquatchTheLegend.com. We've been doing this probably 2 years now. Everybody really loves our stuff, and we're trying to make everything we can in the USA. We're not just reselling Chinese stuff.
This woman sitting next to you, she's not said anything. Does she speak?
She's kind of shy.
Is
but
she?
Once you get her going, it's like you put a quarter in a machine. She won't stop talking.
All right, well, let's put a quarter in. How do you like this so far?
That's a lot of fun so far.
Yeah?
I don't think at this point. It's mostly for fun, but we do sell a lot of good t-shirts. We have a good t-shirt designer. I hope so. With our van having the logo on it, everybody stops us everywhere, wanting to know what we do, what we sell, and tell us their Sasquatch stories.
I mean, we'll be driving through Los Angeles just heading home to Tucson after events, and people are waving us down, trying to get us off the freeway to tell us their stories.
We have got Ken and Lori Hamilton. They are going to be vendors at the Metaline Falls Bigfoot Festival. Do you guys have any words of wisdom for our viewers?
Yeah, go to SasquatchTheLegend.com. We sell a lot of information, a lot of books, along with our t-shirts and jewelry and things like that.
Now, I was really lucky to have run into the folks from SasquatchTheLegend.com, but the day before the festival started, I had a lot to do. First of all, I didn't know anything about the festival. I needed to go down and see what was what. I also needed to go down and take those fantastic pictures and videos that people like you are going to want to see in a quality documentary such as this. Hello everybody, I'm Matthew Heines for Encounters USA. I'm here at Metaline Falls. The Bigfoot Festival will start tomorrow. All up and down this street, vendors right now are setting up their tables, their tents, and their displays. We're going to go around and talk to a few of them. We've already heard some amazing stories and some amazing encounters. Now there was one interview that I didn't want to miss. I needed to interview Sonia Scauflair. Sonia, along with being the public relations specialist for the festival, was in charge of these vendors. So she was going to reveal the ins and outs of what it was like to be a vendor, what it was like to get the vendors to the festival, and what it was like to keep them happy. It's a fantastic interview, and here it is. Last, I have Sonia here, and she is the director of, as she says, she's the director of the vendor operations here at the Metaline Falls Bigfoot Festival. And Sonia, you have a couple of other hats that you wear here in Metaline Falls. You want to talk about what you do to help promote the economics of the town?
Sure. I'm the vice president of the North Poneray Chamber of Commerce. I also run the local Selkirk Sun newspaper, and I devote a lot of space towards basically promoting local businesses for free, just to help get traffic through the doors. And then I also hold the tourism seat on the Poneray County Economic Development Council.
Wow, so lots of irons in the fire, eh, Sonia?
Yeah, but they all overlap. It's kind of like almost like a three-leaf clover kind of thing. The tourism, the larger economic development, and then the local business-to-business networking.
Mm-hmm. Wow, it's fantastic. So, this is your first Metaline Falls Bigfoot Festival. How's it shaping up?
Fantastically. Actually, the presentations with the Bigfoot researchers presenting some of their evidence and their theories at the Cutter Theater sold out within 30 days of the soft launch. We didn't even officially advertise it or anything. So it's actually been amazing. It's just grown from there. As of today, we have 65 vendors coming with everything from food to upcycled art to original t-shirts produced right here in Ione, which is just 18 miles from here, 20 minutes from here. And I mean, just anything that you can imagine, stuff that you won't see anywhere else as well, because we have a lot of local vendors here. The art and talent, ability, and crafting here is astounding, which is actually why we have 2 galleries, full-fledged galleries in the region. And just about every store actually features local artists with their unique products.
Yeah, and we've spent the whole day going around talking to different vendors like Cindy Lavelle. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's just fantastic at the talent in this small town. You guys should have like Metaline Falls Got Talent or some show like that. Actually,
if you look us up, we are actually on when they were still maintaining it, the 100 best small art towns in the U.S.
Okay, wow, that's amazing.
And we're also the place where The Postman was filmed, for all you fans out there.
Wow.
Just saying.
The Postman?
The Postman, Kevin Costner's.
Yeah.
Yep.
Holy cow, I didn't know that.
And Benny and June's train scene was actually filmed right over here in the trestles of the railway.
Wow. Things you just didn't know about Metaline Falls. Okay. Well, that's fantastic. Sonia, you've really done a great job.
Well, thank you.
And I've been trying to get Sonia on my camera for over an hour. She gets constantly vendor after vendor after vendor. I saw some guy come up and say, I got an anthill in my sight. So, and he said, do you have pest control? And I just wanted to say, if she had pest control, I wouldn't be here. So anyway, but that's the kind of day you've had. Sonia's very tired. She's a beautiful woman, but she's been run through the grist mill today, trying to take care of people and make this a great festival. So Sonia, I really want to thank you for doing this. Thank you for your effort, and we're going to do everything we can to promote Metaline Falls and the Metaline Falls Bigfoot Festival.
And we are debuting a world premiere and it's premiering at the New View Independent Movie House. Yes, it actually managed to stay open through COVID. We did not lose a business, a storefront business anyway, in this area due to the sheer tenacity and willpower and maybe stubbornness of our local entrepreneurs. I'm extremely proud of our chamber members. So we've got all kinds of stuff going on. We even have the sheriff's office, the fire department, and border patrol coming out doing a public outreach booth. They're going to bring out their horses, their patrol horses, and all kinds of cool like off-road vehicles. And it's a hot summer, and it already is. I mean, it's like hot to me for us anyway. And so the fire department is bringing out their water cannon to spray people down.
All right, can't wait for that one. All right, well, Sonia, thank you so much. Thank you for your work and for your efforts. And
well, thank you.
This whole town is in debt to you, I'm sure. So
it's a huge team effort, from the core organizers on down to the individual vendors developing their own graphics and their own products. I mean, there's stuff being sold here today that didn't exist a month ago.
Wow. And so this is the last thing I'm going to say as far as my interest in this. Coming from a small town, these small towns all across Washington State are dying. Mm-hmm. And these people are trying to keep their town alive, and they're doing it by sticking together. Yeah. Not fighting, not saying, oh, you're a Democrat or a Republican. They're all sticking together saying, we either stick together or we don't survive. And that's the way America is, and that's the way America should be. So good, as they say in Australia, good on you, mates, for sticking together as a small town and as a community.
Agreed. 100%.
All right. Well, Sonia, thank you so much for your time, and we'll see you at the festival.
Great.
By the end of that first, or shall I say, warm-up day of the festival, I was exhausted. I planned on going back to the campsite. I planned on doing some camp cooking, maybe going for a swim out in the Box Canyon Dam fish pond, and then I was going to relax and I was going to get some sleep, because tomorrow was going to be the big day. It was the first day of the festival. It was going to be a big day. And the first thing that was going to happen that morning was I needed to get up, I needed to get down to the festival and be there for when Chopper would be coming in on the chopper with Bob Gimlin and Russel Acord and who knew who else. But I wanted to make sure that I was in the right place at the right time, so I sent this message. Now, the vagueness of this message sort of bothered me, but I had a job to do. I had come all the way to Eastern Washington, to Metaline Falls, halfway at the insistence of this individual so that I could cover, I guess, his helicopter landing in the festival. So I wanted to live up to that commitment, and I did. So now let's pick up the action where we start following the chopper. Okay, he's coming in under the clouds. He's coming in low, he's coming in hot. Okay, it looks like he's going to come through the valley, through, actually over the Pend d'Oreille. Now, by the time I had reached the police line "Do Not Cross" tape, I was starting to get a clue as to what was actually going on. As I passed under the police line "Do Not Cross" tape, I really began to understand that I had kind of been left behind the fence, literally, on this. And that all of my commitment, all of my guarantees to be at Metaline Falls for the Bigfoot Festival to cover the chopper landing, well, they appeared to be for naught, as I could see somebody else out actually filming the landing. All right, so that did not go the way that it was supposed to go. For weeks now, oh yeah, let's keep this a big secret. I'm going to be flying in. And so, but I need you there to record. And so I came and was ready to record. I got up early, got here on time, and
You can't film in the building.
you can, why not?
Festival. I'm Ranger Schaefer, Foot Ranger, here for the station, here for the children. This is my pre-uniform day. This is my chill day. So I went fishing, so this is my fish look. Yes, I did. There they are. And my name is Steffi Schaefer. I'm a multimedia artist here in our town. Yeah, I float between Ione and here. My family's on both ends. Nobody related to me, but when you're here, as long as I've been here, it's all family.
That's right. So what are we doing? What are we looking at here?
So I build baskets just for fun. And these are Sasquatch baskets, and my friend who owns a coffee stand called the Highway 31 Grind, she designed me some Bigfoot coffees. I put some, well, Bigfoot's got the big one. He's holding on to it, but everybody kind of gives me a little bit here and there, and I put together hundreds of baskets. Just for fun, I do it, and then I don't know what I'm going to sell them for, but I've never had a website. I never even did any of that kind of stuff, but I do it just because I love it. I know, they just say, Cindy, I need a wedding basket or a bereavement basket, whatever it's for.
So how do people get a hold of you?
Because we're in a small town and we all know each other.
So we just got to come to
They just say,
Ione.
Cindy? Yeah, I never.
Right.
But sometimes, too, each basket is different. Nothing is ever the same. I'm going to get them all out of my totes tomorrow. I made a few liquor baskets, too.
Cindy
I'm married
Beers.
to a Jeff Lovell who has actually seen a Sasquatch, and he will swear by it to this day he dies. I believe my husband, and so he likes to talk about when he was a kid. That meant something to me, and that's why he follows the Bigfoot shows, and because he knows that there was something out there that wasn't of earthly what we're used to seeing. You like our Sasquatch? We're gonna auction. No, we're not auctioning. I don't know what we're doing, but I think we're going to have a raffle for one of them to raise money for the Ione beautification. Soaps, pajamas, rugs, crafts of everything you can imagine, and it's just beautiful, and she's a super wonderful person. Let's walk up there. Thanks to you. Let's go up.
In Metaline Falls, you know, you get a big thirst, and when you got a big thirst at a Bigfoot festival, well, of course, you're gonna want to have some Bigfoot pee. Just kidding. So I'm gonna order me up some Bigfoot pee, see how it tastes. One Bigfoot pee, please.
Go ahead, Will.
How much is it?
$1.
$1.
Here's a
Your name is Will? You know where there's a will, there's a way. Have you heard that before? No? Well, here's a little labor tip, okay? Making the big bucks now. Make sure you report that on your taxes.
You say thank you?
Thank you.
All right, thanks a lot, Will. You have a nice day.
Thank you.
Bigfoot P at the Metaline Falls Bigfoot Festival. Okay, so this is what I want. I want a row of chairs right here, and you can go ahead and start on those. While you can go ahead and move those chairs over to that side. All right, so as you can see that under my direct supervision, we've gone ahead and straightened out these chairs. I've had these ladies go ahead and straighten out the rows, put up another shelter, and so I don't think that this would have been possible without my supervision. So Encounters USA on the job at Metaline Falls. Regardless of what happened with Chopper, I still had a lot of interviews that I needed to do. I needed to do an interview with none other than Igor Burtsev. He is a Russian researcher who I had met the night before by chance as he just happened to be walking into his hotel, and I was sitting outside with researchers Todd Neese and Tom Sewid, and a few of our friends. So I had an interview to do with Igor, and then I had a whole lot of interviews to do after that, down where the presenters were also offering their wares for sale. Yeah, I'm looking for Igor. You seen him, Tom?
No, this morning. What?
There's a meeting with him at 10.
Oh my goodness.
You're on the lookout.
Yeah.
He was upstairs in the coffee room at 8:45.
Let's talk about this. I know for a fact that, and this is the American side. In Russia, we've heard the story that they found a Bigfoot, and it was a female, and they mated. They mated with the Bigfoot, the female Bigfoot. Have you heard this story?
Yes, Zana story.
Yeah, well, before we start and get into that, first thing I have to say is, hey, if you're having sex with Bigfoot, you need to get off the vodka. Stop drinking so much vodka.
Why not?
Because if Bigfoot looks good to you, then hey.
No, this is, look, the local people there,
it was not Russian. Her husband, like so. And those people there lived in purity, and they could not marry, because for marriage they could pay much money. For that. It was such a culture that to buy the
dowry.
Yes. One they can use her, because even sometimes they use animal for copulating. You see, like so, but it was It was maybe very rare and not much known about this, but it was a problem. This is one. Next, the reason was.
But is that true? Is it true?
Look.
Okay.
There is a reason that man who was owner of this woman, he took her from the forest, and he was a owner, or master. That man who owned that woman, wild woman, captured in the forest, he arranged such parties, and he said, who will copulate with this wild woman? He will be prized. I will give him a prize. They had their relation with her, and she had children, 5 children. I was communicating with 30 of them, and even they had children more, but with adult, I communicated with some 30 of descendants of them.
So Igor, there on the Melba Ketchum study, they have female DNA, human DNA, female. Don't know what the male is. That's unknown. What did you find out with? Well, I don't remember the name of this. But here, what's the DNA? Is it all human?
Yes,
it's all human.
Her DNA is. It is necessary to study more deep. Okay. It is very expensive, complicated. They were not going so deep to that study. You see, I know that the Society of Max Planck in Germany, they study so deep. And when they found the new species of human, which is called Homo altaiensis or Homo denisovan in Siberia, they found bone, and they studied. And when they found, it cost $500,000, they study. You see, it's very expensive. That is why this institute also did not go so deep to study what was the difference of DNA, because the difference is very, very, very tiny, small. Even between humans and chimpanzee, there is less than 1% difference. It's necessary to study more, this 1%. But between them, this creature and human, it's even less difference. To find it, it's very difficult. And also, I come to such conclusion that they are just branch of the humans. That's why. And also Melba Ketchum, yes, it is confirming Melba Ketchum's result, because as they are hybridizing, that means they are very close. They are humans too, but other kind of human. That is why they cannot find difference between this DNA, you see.
Have you spoken to
it? It is very difficult, very, very great problem.
Have you spoken to Melba about your results yet?
What?
Did you speak with Melba?
Yes, I was, and I was corresponding, and even when she studied her, she completed her study, she wrote the article in 2000.
I know.
In 2012. And I took this article and tried to publish in our magazine in Russian, in Moscow one magazine, and Siberia another magazine was. I sent them the article by Melba Ketchum. She sent me. Yes, I sent them. 3 months they kept after the, and this one and that one. They said, oh, it is not fit to our magazine like so, and they did not publish that article, but she published in other years.
I couldn't believe my luck being able to interview Igor Burtsev. Not only was I able to interview him, later on we would go Sasquatch hunting, and that's going to be the second documentary, Squatchumentary of this series. You're not going to want to miss that, so stay tuned to EncountersUSA.com. But for now, let's go on and find out what happens during the rest of the festival.
So much cooler up there.
Yeah, and you come down. Well, how come you're down here?
Well, I heard there's a little festival going on.
Yeah, it's your festival. Did you get an invitation or anything, or what?
Well, kinda. Somebody screeched at me up there. I don't know.
Is that right? I was doing black call blasting.
Oh,
I drove into town.
I followed a black pickup.
That's me.
That's what got it. Okay, that's how I got him here.
Yeah, well, see, I go out in the woods. I'm Encounters USA. We do aliens, Bigfoot, and Dogman. And we go out in the woods and actually do the research. So, yeah, we're going to be out looking for you.
Okay, well,
so
don't go in that area up there.
In that area?
Yeah,
okay.
Stay out of there.
Okay.
It's my backyard.
Okay, well, that's no problem.
We got a booth over there called the Harry
do
Koozie.
ya? What's the name of it?
The Harry Koozie.
The Harry Koozie. Susie, Harry
Koozie,
Susie?
beer koozie.
Harry Koozie. All right, but I gotta ask you, what about the ladies? I mean, is that a...
They like me.
They like you? Oh, yeah, you don't have any problem getting a date?
No.
Can I get a picture with you?
See, for instance, right here.
Look, yeah,
the ladies swarm me.
I was just asking about the ladies, and look at that. They just they come out of the woodwork for you. Wow.
Thank you for the picture.
Awesome.
Yep. Another satisfied customer.
This lady here, she's beautiful too. I've known her long.
All right, so Bigfoot's going around.
Yeah.
You really got a nice outgoing personality, and I really think that makes Bigfoot. You know, because, you know, some cryptids are a little bit shy. Some are actually obnoxious.
Yeah. Well, you know, I've been around a long time in this area. Like I said, I live in the shadows of Hooknose up there.
Yeah.
And these are all my family and friends.
That's great. Any relations?
Oh, no.
But
I seen a guy earlier. Looked like he maybe an old Vietnam vet friend of mine.
Right. So is he Bigfoot in Vietnam, or?
He must have been. I don't know. I didn't meet him.
Probably Special Forces. Use that infrasound on Charlie. You are not kidding, Bigfoot. There it is, the Harry Koozie. So you're here, and you're with the Harry Koozie.
Yes, sir.
Correct?
Yes, sir.
And you're here with Mr. Bigfoot.
Mr. Bigfoot.
Okay, is there, you know, we were talking earlier about, well, how do you do with the ladies? Obviously, you're doing pretty well. So,
thank you.
So that's great. So you guys are in some kind of relationship or something, or?
Well, she knows I live in the shadows.
Uh-huh.
So she likes me.
I go out looking for him every now and then.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's kind of elusive, but...
Okay, yeah, and, you know, you want to... What happens when you find him? Does the fur fly?
Magic
fur
happens.
flies.
The fur fly. Hey, you mind if I do a little interview with you?
Go ahead, man. Footprints right here.
Yeah, look at that.
You need to take one home.
Oh, look at that, yeah.
And if you don't like this color, turn it around.
Oh. And then I had a whole lot of interviews to do after that, down where the presenters were also offering their wares for sale. All right, Larry Beans Baxter. You are an author that was just on my podcast, so great to see you. You're here at the Metaline Falls Bigfoot Festival. How long you been in town?
We got into town yesterday.
Yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday afternoon.
You got a hotel?
We did.
Wow, you're lucky. You must have booked it.
Well, I was one of the speakers, so they took care of it.
Ah, okay. Okay. And
I don't think they have any programs or flyers printed up.
Yep.
But Shane Corson's speaking right now. I think Robert Alley's speaking in the tent. Shane Corson's speaking now. After lunch, Ken Gerhard's going to speak. And then Kevin Llewellyn and Thomas Sewid at the end of the day.
Wow. Okay. Did what's his name? Davies? Did he ever make it?
He's here. He's the MC.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, great. Larry Beans Baxter. Good to finally meet you.
To keep active.
Well, the last time I saw you, you were 80 years old, and that was like over a year ago. So you're 81.
No. I'm 90.
Nah, you're not 90.
Yes, I am.
Are you really? You got a driver's license?
Got a what?
Driver's license? You can't be looking that good and be 90 years old. See?
She's 90.
Really?
Thank you.
You have Russel Acord. Russel's vouching.
Thank you.
Vouching for Bob.
Well, yeah,
you know, I'm not sure if you guys together make credible witnesses.
Well,
no. Look at Russel's looking good too.
I'll lie and he'll swear to it.
Okay, there we go.
Collaborator.
Well, so Bob, are you doing any more festivals? I mean, ever since the COVID,
no,
this is the
no,
first
not
one,
much.
Right?
Not much.
So look at that. You got to see me at the last one.
Yeah.
You got to see me at the first one.
Yes.
So isn't that something?
Yes, it is.
Did you ever see my interview?
No, I never.
Encounters USA. If you ever have time, just go to it.
I will.
And it really was fun, and and it was funny, and it got a lot of views. So,
good. Good. I'll do that.
Yep. So yeah, it's really nice to see you. So what's you're going to speak or?
No. I might get up and say hello.
Okay.
Or just howdy, folks, or whatever.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
They want some good speakers there. They don't want a guy like me up there.
Can I get that belt buckle there?
Yes.
That is awesome. You probably had to wrestle Bigfoot to get that one, right?
Yes.
Old wrestling things.
A really good friend of mine bought this belt buckle for me, and I didn't even know that he knew that I had anything to do with Bigfoot.
Really?
Yeah.
Where the hell was he from? China or something?
No, he was from just down Tri-Cities area, 80 miles from me, but I never got to talk to him a lot. You know, he was busy, not campaigning, but should be governor of the state of Washington.
Is it? It's not Lauren, is it?
Well, his name is Bob Evans.
I've heard of Bob Evans, but that was from a long time ago, wasn't it?
No. He's not that old. I think he's probably he might be 50.
Yeah. Do you know I ran for Congress, and I'm running for Congress next year?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm running in the 1st District against Suzanne Del Bene.
Oh, well, I hope you beat her.
We have Mr. Kevin Llewellyn. Kevin, you're going to be speaking here at the Metaline Falls Bigfoot Festival. What's the topic?
Covering a variety of things. I grew up in Spokane, Washington, and saw Roger Patterson present the film in Patterson Gimlin Film in Spokane as a youngster.
Wow.
I was hooked, and so I've been a lifelong Bigfoot enthusiast. And so I've had all kinds of different encounters and things that, I mean, it's just, so we only have a half hour to speak. So I'm going to talk about some things, and I'm going to touch, I don't know what the other speakers have talked about, but I'm going to touch on an encounter that I had. There was some strange lights outside my tent. There actually, I had out in front of my tent, I had a Washington State University pop-up canopy with a
Go Cougs
and it has the crimson shade wall on it. And I was awakened at a little after 2 a.m. and there was scratching on the shade wall. And I question things. The first thing I think of is there a rodent chewing on the shade wall? But there wasn't. And this went on and on, the scratch, and then there was tapping on top of the canopy. So like all the pop-up canopies here at the festival, and then went back to the scratching, and I'm like, what is out there? And then all of a sudden I started to have these strange lights go in, and a lot of detail then that I can continue with. But I had the strange lights go across my tent.
Well, that's great. Well, Kevin, it's great to meet a fellow cougar.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And
go Cougs.
I really have a theory that Bigfoot is a cougar.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So it's too bad that. Do you know that Grover Krantz? You know who he is?
Oh yeah.
He was my neighbor. I lived down at Rainier Park.
Yeah.
And so he was 2 houses down from me. So we got to go in and see his stuff and everything.
Yeah.
So,
Great.
So, hey, can I just shake your hand?
Yeah, what's your name?
My name's Matt Heines. I do Encounters USA. It's a podcast. Okay. We do aliens, Bigfoot, and Dogman.
I see that now.
So,
Encounters USA.
Yeah,
check that out. I'm fascinated with everything unexplained. I'm primarily, of course, I research unknown animals, but I've seen a UFO. I'm not saying it was an extraterrestrial, but I've seen something I couldn't identify flying over my head one time. I wonder sometimes if there are like different cultural and sociological reasons that we want to connect these types of things. It's kind of the way the human mind works is sometimes if you have commonalities between, this is a mystery, this is a mystery, let's put them both in this section of our brain, in this folder. There are sightings and accounts of UFOs in Bigfoot areas and Pennsylvania in particular. But in the big picture, which is why I always try to take the wide view, Matt, in the wide view of Bigfoot phenomenon, thousands of eyewitness sightings on record, the percentage that describe the UFOs and the cloaking and all that is like less than 1/10 of 100%. So yes, there are people that have seen things, that seem to defy, the natural world that we're all kind of used to and live in. So, well, I don't have a scientific degree. So it sounds like a fancy word. I use a scientific methodology in approaching.
But you study all cryptids.
I study cryptids.
Yes. So you're not just Bigfoot. You're Dogman,
Loch Ness Monster, Chupacabra, Dogman, Mothman.
See, so we do
Jersey
Dogman.
Devil. Yeah, I see that. With regard to like something like the Dogman or the Mothman, and I've written a book about Mothman type encounters, which are very similar to Dogman in terms of behaviors described and stuff. Those I would more readily connect to something otherworldly. Whether you want to characterize that as interdimensional, extraterrestrial, demonic, people have different ways of, different biases and perspectives. But the reason being is that Dogman, unlike Bigfoot, does not fit into the paradigm of the fossil record of the natural world. It's impossible. It's an impossible animal. Bigfoot is not. Bigfoot there are things that look like Bigfoot for millions of years throughout Africa and Asia. So to me, that seems like a more rational explanation that those animals are still around. But things like Dogman, and I have, admittedly, I'm not huge in the Dogman field, but I confer with most of the major Dogman researchers, Linda Godfrey and David Weatherly, Stan Gordon, all those people. And, the things that I hear about Dogman encounters, it's not just like a Bigfoot encounter. It's usually that's when they get the weird green mists and popping noises, and people describe a lot of like other unrelated or seemingly unrelated phenomenon to Dogman. So I don't know. All of that to me, I think you could build a stronger case that if there are these other dimensions or realities, then things like Dogman are somehow manifesting. That to me at least. And again, I'm just trying to. Bigfoot, the Loch Ness Monster, they look just like things that actually did exist. So, and also I have, I always have questions about like the portal theory. It's like, why are all the portals out in the wilderness? Why isn't there a portal in Times Square? Why isn't there a portal in the Walmart parking lot near my house? So I mean, there are always two ways to look at, every question. But I don't know. It's all, nobody knows really. I mean, it's all speculation. So. And that's the important thing. Anyone that's interested in this stuff, I always encourage you to question, think critically, and challenge. Yeah. Don't accept any claim of an extraordinary event or encounter without questioning, the motivations. Does it fit again into like the paradigm of other similar? Does it introduce some oddball thing that's no one's ever discussed before? Yeah. So I don't know, but fun questions. Love them all.
And of course, I love that hat. So we'll talk to you later, Ken. Thank you.
Take care. Thanks.
Yeah, all of them are all. Yeah.
Hey, Tom.
I know everybody.
How are you,
online,
my old brother? I'll forget that. How are you?
Love you, sure.
Thank you. I made it myself. I'm Encounters USA. Tom's been on it 3 times, 4 times.
Something like that.
Yeah. He's a regular. So.
But I bump myself like on there, and it just leaves a bruise. I don't even feel them.
Yeah, that's what happens when we get old.
Yeah.
One of the kids at our village at Fort Simpson when she was young. How big? Well, you might not believe it, but everyone agreed it was 15 feet. What happened? Well, all the men in the village rushed, raised their rifles, held a rifle on it, and when it realized it couldn't get away that way, it dropped the 12-year-old girl it had. And all the men rushed to be able to secure the girl, and it do.
Well, my name's Thom Sewid. I'm from a member of the Squatchumentary tribes of the Mamliacha from northeastern Vancouver Island, British Columbia. That's what I was brought up and raised in, but my mother's a full-blooded Cree Indian from Saskatchewan in the Central Plains. But my tribe has probably the strongest tie to the Sasquatch of any North American tribal group because it's our highest ranked crest, what we call memorial totem poles. They're the memorial poles carved and raised in memory of chieftains who have passed, with a multitude of their crests telling a story about who he was, where his bloodlines come from, how wealthy he was, great deeds, you name it. But always at the bottom of the powerful chiefs, you'll see that carving with puckered lips, outstretched arms, pendulous breasts, sleepy eyes, Chunacha, wild woman of the woods. So it's an area that's, often overlooked. A lot of people put focus on other parts of the Pacific Northwest. Chances are we're going to find them out in the open harvesting shellfish, their favorite food being the cockle, a type of clam. And you can go to thebigfootstore.com, sasquatchlegend.com, and you'll see all of my West Coast native Squatchumentary art of Sasquatch and other animals that they're selling. And, you can, everyone's got the silhouette of a Sasquatch t-shirt. How about getting one with the real deal? There's other artists that are coming on board now. So I keep pretty busy. Expeditions, conferences. If you're watching this and you have a Sasquatch conference, in minutes we're going to display our Squatchumentary regalia. Carved cedarwood mask of Junacha, our Sasquatch, fur regalia, a basket on her back. And we're going to go onto floor and demonstrate what my people have seen for thousands of years in potlatch. A doll made out of a corn husk and cob that was from the Sitonga, their Sasquatch. Well, 2 nights later, night of July 4th, while they're all getting ready to watch fireworks and that, his daughter went missing for 45 minutes to an hour. When she finally walked back into the yard on the Indian reservation, everyone hugging her, where were you? Big hairy man grabbed me, she carried me into the bush. I could hear you all calling me and listening, but he kept going, shh, shh. And he just held me. Then he brought me and released me right by the driveway. And what it was the Sitonga giving a message to Lucas. Stay out of our caves and our caverns. Don't be taking our property, even though it's a corn husk looking like a doll. Sure. Just go to SasquatchIsland.com, tom.sewid@gmail.com. There's a link. I live in Kent, Washington, south of Seattle with my wife, Peggy, common law. And I also live on Vancouver Island when I'm up there working and investigating. So British Columbia, Washington, come on out and have a close encounter of the hairy kind.
As I interviewed people like Tom Sewid, Thom Contrall, Ken Gerhard, Bob Gimlin, I really noticed around me the atmosphere was that of happiness, of people, adults, children, all of them having a good time, all of them enjoying themselves, and it was something, because of what we know has been happening, that we haven't seen for a long time. And just being able to see that, to see Americans being able to enjoy each other once again, and to be together once again, and to be happy once again, was really worth going to the festival by itself. But there were so many more things, so many small stories that happened during the festival, that you would have to take a much longer documentary to tell. And I don't have the time for that documentary. So here's some of the final scenes from the Metaline Falls Bigfoot Festival.
Yesterday, what's going on, dude?
Hanging out.
All right, well, you're looking good. Did you hear your Bigfoot calls?
That's what I was chasing. I didn't know what it was.
Yeah, somebody's calling me. It must be one of my cousins. You probably
thought I was late for dinner.
Of the first day at the Metaline Falls Bigfoot Festival, first one ever, and it looks like it's been a great success. Behind me you can see that the vendors have all packed up. There are a couple of vendors down picking up their stuff, but basically it's the end of the day, and I think everybody's going to agree it's been a great success. So it's going to look a lot different at this time tomorrow, but for now, this has just been a really great festival. Everyone's had a great time, and we're going to pack it in for the night, and hopefully we'll do the same thing tomorrow.
And we are going, gentlemen.
All right, so we're standing out here in the sun, and as I just informed these two gentlemen, the Arabs say only Americans and vultures stand in the sun. And for some reason, we're standing in the sun wearing black. So I don't know what's going on here, but I'm here with the world famous Todd Nice.
Not that famous.
And because I'm just going to give him the opportunity to say no more Mr.
Nice guy.
Okay, yeah, no more Mr. Nice guy. That's his funny joke. Right now, we're at the tail end, basically, of the Metaline Falls Festival. So what's next?
What's next? Well, looking at possible expedition up in British Columbia mid-July for a couple of weeks.
as long as we can get through the border. I've got 3 different conferences lined up to speak at this year in Idaho, Arkansas, and Ohio. Other than that, I'm writing books and keeping busy with podcasts and what have you, but it's been a lot of fun.
I'm sure people appreciate the fact you're staying off the street.
True.
So that's the big thing. Well, Todd, niece, thanks for doing the podcast all the times that you have done it. Really shows you are a charitable Christian person. And good luck with your expeditions and good luck driving back to Oregon.
Thank you.
All right, Todd, we'll see you later. All right. By the end of the second day of the Metaline Falls Bigfoot Festival, I had learned a lot of things. I had learned about the presenters. I had learned some new things about Bigfoot. And I learned a lot of new things about the festival, about how it had been arranged, and what a success that it had turned out to be. So, with a final thank you for the people who put on that festival, I'd like you to enjoy this interview with the other organizer. And of course, there are many, many dozens of people who are deserving of that title. But I think that Sonia Scalflair and I think that William Bisson really deserve a great vote of thanks. So here is William Bisson, his own words on the Metaline Falls Bigfoot Festival.
All right, everybody, we're sitting here with William Bisson. And if you look at Bill's face and his expression, he's been through it. And Bill, you are responsible for, it seems to be from everybody I talk to, one of the best, most successful festivals.
Chatter and a positive level and laughter and seeing people hugging and shaking hands and knuckling. You know, that's what it's all about.
It was a fantastic venue, and I've been to many, and this was, I'd say this would be in the top 5 for sure.
Yeah.
Great setting and great people, and the host couldn't be more friendly and accommodating. Just had a great time.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that, and good job.
Well, thanks, Matt. You know, it took a lot of people to put this together. It's not just me, but I had Sonia Scalflair, my wife Susie, and quite a few other people that I could go on and mention a lot of names, but that was the main drivers of this. And you know, it was a good time. You know, we had we had a lot of people that came up here and they wanted to be presenters this year, and it was kind of hard because we already had most of the presenters already set up, and then you know everybody just kind of came up here, kicked together. It was a little chaotic this year. I apologize but you know, we'll plan for next year, and we're going to plan it a lot better. And but yeah, we had I heard anywhere between 45 to on one day to you know, another 2,000 the next day. So I get a fair estimate of a good 6,000 to 6,500 people that showed up here. Somebody said that they figured close to 9,000 to 9,000 to 9,500 people. So, but I mean, the place is just wall to wall with people from one end of the town to the other. And then of course we had our Bigfoot seminars going and stuff like that. And, you know, it was just a constant flow of people. So yeah, it was a really great time. I appreciate everybody coming up. You know, the vendors are running out of food. Some of the vendors that had things for sale, merchandise, they couldn't believe it. They ran out of stuff. So, you know, that's a success. You know, I mean, you know, when you have people coming up and they're selling out everything that they have, and there was other vendors that you know, they brought up a pretty good supply, and everyone that I talked to and heard from, they said it was just, you know, it was just unbelievable, you know. So I think it was a really great success. In fact, I know it was a great success. I didn't have anybody, you know, everybody was just like tickled pink, and the presenters coming up here, they were just ecstatic on how well that it was put together. We put on a heck of a feed up at the Cutter Theater for them, and everybody was so happy. They're going, well, when's this going to happen next year? So, you know, it all started out with a few of us coming up here and doing some Sasquatch hunting, and it just has morphed into something that I think is going to be more amazing next year. You know, we'll try to make a little bit more for everybody. The kids were having a good time. You know, there's a few Squatches running around here on the streets. You know, and it was kind of funny that how many Squatches showed up in town. You know, and people that a lot of great people. I mean, just, you know, music and food and festivities and it was just fantastic.
Yeah.
All these people that came up that were presenters, they said, let's do this again next year, and we'd like to take and have a chat with you about some things, because we've done these before, and we know a lot about these presentations and stuff. They said, you know, that I'm not trying to brag, but they said you really put it over the top. Let's put it out of the field. Mm-hmm. So next year, we're going to be like Babe Ruth. We're going to point out and go, it's going over the top.
All right, well, I think we started this 4 months ago, and now it's finished. With my interview with Bill Besson finished, I was ready to go on to my next adventure and my next documentary. However, there was going to be one problem. Well, I just thought I'd do a little recording here because I am absolutely stuck in Metaline Falls, or actually Metaline. Deal is, I woke up this morning and I was packing up my stuff and I noticed my wallet was not where I usually put it. And long story short, my car keys are locked over in the garage. Bill is on his way to Spokane and I don't know where his wife went. So I'm supposed to be meeting people in Colville. And then I'm supposed to be going up in the mountains to go Bigfooting. But right now, none of that is happening. And I'm just sitting outside of Bill's house. And Thom Contrall is inside sleeping, so I don't really want to disturb him. Do I get my car keys? Do I ever find my way out of Metaline Falls? Do I ever get to go Sasquatch hunting with Igor Burtsev? Do we ever find Sasquatch or something even more mysterious? Well, you're just gonna have to wait until the next documentary, or I keep forgetting to say Squatchumentary. We go looking for Bigfoot in the northern Cascades outside of Colville, Washington. So, thank you for watching.
Yes! Okay, all of you.
Well, I guess they'll order me a dozen donuts and a Molson, eh? Whenever you're in eastern Washington, if you're looking for Bigfoot or whatever, at Encounters USA, we always say, watch your back.